Park Cricket Club against the under-19s as they try to drop another victory here today. Queen's Park, of course, will want to go into the semi-finals like an unbeaten team and a well-oiled machine. Darren Bravo is here with us, as is Mr. Brandon Boodoo, the captain of the U-19s, and Mr. Ashraf Mohammed is the match referee, and he will conduct the pointers. Tails of the call. Tails it is. So Darren, you run the toss. What are you going to do?
I think that would have been our template for the tournament, and I don't think there's any reason to change.
Now you have one change stage for?
Yeah, Marcus Nadal and we'll get to the finals.
How hard it is for you to get the players of the previous game? I've seen it one of my 45 to the series.
To be totally honest, I don't think we played our best game just yet, especially was a bit disappointed in how we went about in our last encounter, even though we came out on top against Providence. So I had a good chat with them, and they were really happy for this particular encounter and putting them down there.
How about you personally? Are you enjoying it? Playing? Okay, so here we have it. We're just hearing from Darren Bravo there, the captain of the Queen's Park team. And it's Zakaria Mohammed and Levi Ghani, the opening batters for the Fial under 19 outfit. And they, of course, were put into bat by Queen's Park. And as you would have heard from Darren Bravo there, he wasn't too happy with how they performed the last time. So he's looking for a much improved performance tonight, hoping that they can get everything done as quickly as possible. And although they secured a place in the semi-finals, he still wants to continue to play good cricket and not lose momentum at all. So the youths are on the board. Mohammed getting an early single. And again, both teams very talented, laden with talent, one would say. And good, sensible cricket again from the youngsters. Not trying to overdo things, but basically taking what the opponents are giving them. So the young man, of course, bowling Abdul Rahim Toppin, is picked up by the TKR outfit. So I'm sure this is a big opportunity for him, one in which he would hopefully grab with both hands, grow and develop. And it's really about learning and understanding, you know, the processes, what it's like to perform at this level, what the consistency that is required. And a no ball. So a free hit. That's a good shot. Probably didn't get the distance that he required, but he was certainly prepared to put bat to ball. And he's a short man, so you had to really reach up for it. Almost played like a tennis shot, an overhead smash. So this is Queen's Park against the under-19s. Andre Fletcher just checking everything to make sure that everything is okay. They go for one. They think for a moment about going back for a second and then decided against it. So that completes the first over of game number 2 in the TTCB T20 Festival. Queen's Park against the Fial under 19. And after the first over, it's 5 without loss.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, congratulations. Well, I'm good with it, but you probably would have gone first as well. Yeah, why? Same thing? You feel you could get something already with it?
Yeah, it's already been the captain the season. I've done international.
And again, talking about against Prisons, you came up with a big victory there, a well-timed run chase, and now you're probably going to have to set the total this time around. How is the mindset for that?
I think it is so far we going to definitely next time. Taking the positive out from the rest of the game. And the hard work and the total and down from there.
How the players have been after that big win?
It's really good, coming out there, winning a game, getting close in the first game, but actually coming out winning it. It's a really good feeling in the camp.
All right, all the best and go well in this one.
So yes, Shiva Makun is going to take up the attack from the top end. And that one went screaming in and out. And I think that might have been a chance there because it went quickly, but it went in and then right back out. And this one is going down. So just having some difficulty negotiating. He's trying to play shots, really. And but I don't think he's absolutely certain what Macomb is doing just yet. So, but he's trying to attack him. And that's better. That's very well played. And we saw Levi Gani a couple nights ago doing very well when they defeated Prisons. And here he is again showing some of that awesome potential that he has. Trying again to get after trying to just to keep the scoreboard ticking over, which is the name of the game. Here you try to make hay in the power play overs and try to pick up the singles. We saw them run very, very well between the wickets. And in the game against Prisons, which they won. And obviously we'll be looking to replicate that here this evening. Of course, the challenge they face is that they're much better athletes on the Queen's Park team who will be lurking around that circle. And so 2 of us gone. It's 10 without loss. So we start another over. They want a single. They can. And this is what I was talking about. Govaya is screaming coming in there.
from that cover position, extra cover. So they have to be very aware of that. They can't take it against prisons. Nobody was attacking the ball in that cover region. But look at how much, look where he's starting a good 3 or 4 meters in from the face. So he's already attacking. Preacher, and that one hit the edge and he's gone. So Ghani goes for 7. A peach of a delivery there. Caught by Fletcher. And the young man, Abdul Rahim Toppin, picks up pepper. So 10 for 1 at the end. Well, with that dismissal. And not the start the Utes wanted, but Derek Richards is going to be batting at number 3. Again, another very talented youngster. So folks who are here and would have seen the team list for the draftees, all the players who would have been retained or added by their respective CPL teams, they would have seen this young man name showing up. And so they get an opportunity to see him up close here tonight. And so far, so good for the young man, Abdul Rahim Toppin. And I think it goes without saying that there are a lot of folks who are keeping a keen eye on the under-19s just to see how they progress, how they adapt, how they work through situations. It's not going to be easy all the time. In fact, they're playing against more seasoned players. And it's not going to be easy. Some days are going to be easier than others, but some days are going to be tough. And another no ball, so he's going to have to be careful with that. That's the second in 2 overs. Don't want to spoil the good work that you do. And that is the free hit, and that is well struck. Really, it's a license to just have a go. And he didn't miss out on that occasion there. Tariq Richards just bludgeoned that one down to long on. He's a very aggressive young man, and I think folks would like him if he plays if he spends any time at the wicket at all. He's going to play his shots. And this time he could be out caught and bowled. Yes, he is. So he got the free hit. He hit him for 4. And of course, trying to repeat the shot, found that it just choked him a little bit. And he spooned a catch. Good running catch by by Abdul Rahim Toppin. And so he's picked up 2 peppers already. And the Utes are now 15 for 2. So Brendan Boodoo, the captain of the U-19s will make his way to the crease, obviously with a lot on his mind now. So the skipper has some work to do here to repair this damage. You don't want to lose another wicket. I think it's like an unwritten rule that you try to avoid losing 3 wickets in the power play. It's almost impossible to climb out of that. So the Queen's Park are just trying to put together, as Darren Bravo said, they're trying to put together the perfect game. And it starts with their bowling and fielding. And I suppose it will end with the batting tonight. And that's a beauty. Again, but if you look at where Boodoo was setting up, he instead of going into the shot, he kind of pulled away. I'm not sure why his back foot was almost stationed on the ground there. Look at it. It's going behind instead of going across the stumps. So he could get closer to the ball. Eventually, he's able to get off the mark, but a pretty good over so far from this young man. Doing very well. In fact, it ends the over 16 for 2 after 3. So Brandon Boodoo is getting ready to take strike again. The captain of the under-19 team, very talented young man, very bright young man. In fact, really speak to all of them. They're all really sure they're gonna have to hurry here. The return is, and it's shy at the stumps, but it was some way away. Actually pulled Macoum away from the stumps, and Tuppin was really taking aim there, and almost as if he wanted to bore a hole in his hands. So good bowling. Macoum is keeping a very tidy line, keeping things tight. He has a nice ring on the offside. There's nobody out on that side. And that's why, and that's gorgeous. Brilliant. He just leant on it, didn't try to hit it too hard. And you could just see the quality in the young man there. He just leant on it and stroked it beautifully. So Zakaria Mohammed continues to impress. A slightly quicker delivery, and well fielded in the end, because that could so easily have gone down the hill there. Tuppin doing very well to stop it from going down the hill. So a lot of interest in this game, in the sense that Queen's Park would have already qualified. They have 3 wins from their 3 games. This is their final group game. The U-19s, of course, would love another win. Again, the line is pretty impressive by Macomb. But his 2 overs have cost him 11 runs. And at the end of 2, it's 22 for 2. At the end of 4, rather. So 22 for 2 at the end of 4 overs. Just pushing that one. So obviously trying to push it into the right-hander and then try to set him up with one going away. But he pushed it too far. And again, going into the pads, and he's going to get picked off for a couple. Queen's Park, of course, playing at home here, so they will be very comfortable with the conditions. But so do a lot of these youngsters, because they play a lot of cricket with and against Queen's Park. Right here. And that's going to run down to the boundary for 4. The man at that deep backward square or wideish fine leg never really had a chance. That's young Pollard. And that's 4. And that's a badly lined delivery from Toppin. Again, trying to start it middle stump and then try to move it from there, but probably he might be better off starting it off stump and then see if it deviates from that spot. And that's better. That's more like it. Now the trick here is for him to try to repeat that now. Just do everything he just did. That is always the challenge. In fact, I've seen big test bowlers struggle to replicate good deliveries that they would have bowled. And that's well struck. That's a brave man coming down the wicket to Toppin and just helping himself literally over the mid-on fielder. Bravo could do nothing about it. So as I say, fortune favors the brave. And this young man is not afraid. So Zakaria Mohammed tacks on 4 more. And again, and immediately sets off for the single. And in fact, they're picking on the right man in Darren Bravo because he's not the quickest in the field. In fact, Bravo is probably very happy to give them that single as long as it doesn't go past him. So he's the one. The others, you're probably going to want to place it to the left or the right of them. especially if they're right-handed, then play to the left to force them to have to take time to get to the ball. So a bit of a mixed bag from Toppin. He bowled a couple good deliveries, and then he bowled a couple not so good ones to end the over. His third, 2 for 23, 5 overs gone, it's 34 for 2. So Mikel Govaya is going to pick up the attack now. So Mikel Govaya, the off spinner, is going to come into the attack now. Trying to bring something different. They're going to scamper another quick single, and again making it look so easy. And that's very well played. That's going. Gonna bounce once, and he might have just kept it in there, Toppin. Let's see if so Toppin did all the hard work, and then had to chase it all the way to the ropes, and might have just pulled it back just before it got to the rope. And that's a shot that he likes to play. But because there's a little bit of turn on offer, he's going to have to be very mindful of the ball coming back into him. Goes again, and just knocking it down. Bravo. So that cut shot is like his bread and butter. He lives for it. But playing it against the spin could be dangerous. And I think he missed out there because you could see him looking to really lap it somewhere into the onside. And Mohammed is 19, and he will stay on 19 because Govaya threw it back on the stump. So of course he missed the stump by a mile, but I think he hit Mohammed in the process. So it's the end of his first over, and at the end of the over 6 completed, it's 38 for 2. So now Kadeem Allen is going to come into the attack. So Allen trying to get somebody's attention. Might have been some of what they might have discussed in meetings. So he's expected players to just get into positions quickly. And that one is swung away. There's a man out there, but he could do nothing about it. Toppin. It goes for 6. And just a little too short. Just giving the youngster an opportunity there, and Boodoo didn't miss out. So this is interesting because the youths, they've basically chased every match so far. This is the first time that they're actually trying to set some kind of a target. So it'll be interesting to see how they progress here. And again, that's a glorious shot once more. Was in the air, but once you get it past the fielder, there's nobody backing him up there. And that's the bigger boundary, but that ball raced across the turf there. So again, these youngsters are showing that they're quite capable, and not only are they capable, they're brave with it. They're not afraid to challenge the seniors or the more experienced opponents. And again, so he's certainly not afraid. So Boudou just showing that he's good playing the drives as well as playing the pull shots. And this young man, Zakaria Mohammed, is a master at that cut shot. He loves to cut the ball. Could drive it well also. And another no ball. This is the third of the innings, 2 by Toppin. And now Allen in his first over. Just overstepping. That's what happens when you wear size 14 shoes, you know. So 50 on the board with that no ball, and now they have a free hit. And he had to reach for it. And in the end, all he could get out of it is a single. But again, well disguised by Allen. Give him no pace at all to work with there. And he was through the shot long before the ball even got there. And again, a nice, glorious shot. Again, well played and well placed. He stayed on top of it and he stroked it beautifully. Brandon Boudou. Placed it well away from the man in the covers, and the man at third man has no chance. And that prompts a field change. So immediately Govaya is being placed into the cover region. And Bravo trying to get the third man to adjust a little bit to his left. There's a third man, a fine one, and then there's a one a little further right at that deep backward point position on the boundary. And he's trying to bring him around a little bit more. Failing to really make the proper contact on that occasion. Allen mixing up his deliveries, mixing up the pace very well. 55 for 2 now after 7. Again, let me also say congratulations to Fial, comprehensive victory. They really took the game away from Prisons with their bowling, their death bowling. Those last couple of overs where they could only get 4 and 5 runs, that wasn't going to hurt them at all. And then a total of 154 to win. They managed it very well. One with overs to spare. Here's Govaya. And that spoon up in the air, that's going to be a simple catch. No, he can't get there. Well, he was trying to get out to it. He got under the ball and he didn't really hit it. He just pushed at it and he spooned it. Luckily for him, the fielder just couldn't get around to it in time. That was Vasant Singh there trying his best to get under it. There is that cut shot that he loves so well. But on that occasion, Boodoo picks out the man. And this must be a lot of fun for these youngsters to impress the way they are impressing against their senior counterparts, many of whom have played more cricket than them and been playing at a high level for a number of years. And for them to come now and show their capabilities and look so at ease doing it. He's asking the umpire for a why, but the umpire not taking him on. You don't have to say anything, you just have to stare at the umpire. And again, Fletcher tidying up at the back, and there's a big international star keeping wicket, Andre Fletcher. And that's another glorious shot. Very well played again. And 4 more. So the runs continue to flow here. 8 overs gone. And it's 60 now for 2. That's a really nice shot. And it's one of those where you say, not a man move. Well, not a man move to that one. So 24 to Boodoo now. Zakaria Mohammed is on 21. So now Tion Webster is taking over from Allen. So there is a long off and a long on. There's a man, a cover going out on the defense. There's a third man, Vasant, who is long at the finest third man. He will come into the circle now. So there are 5 of them out. A deep mid wicket, mid long on, a long off, point, third man. And no fine leg. And that means 4 runs. From the moment he drifts into the pads there, as we say in local parlance, you're selling arms. It's as easy as taking candy from a baby. And why I like this opportunity for these youngsters, because the senior ones are trying hard against them. So if you can perform against guys who are, like I say, who are your seniors, then you're certainly, it builds your confidence. It builds it in a hurry too, because now you know that you could compete at the higher level. So that's why these performances should go a long way for these young men. Another wide. So Webster, I could imagine some of the youngsters probably telling Webster, oh, you don't want to, you're afraid to get hit, or you're hiding the ball. As if you're brash, but with your ability. You know, you're not going to say that a genuine fast bowler, because fast bowlers have a different mentality. And here they go again, very well judged. And there's so much to like about these youngsters, and the promise that they hold, that you just wish that they will that they'll be able to fulfill their true potential. Not all of them will succeed, no doubt. They may have levels of success or degrees of success. It's another gorgeous shot that it's going close to the boundary down that widest third man position. And another 2 runs, another well-judged second run. And so it's very good to have them showcasing their talent and, you know, and competing at the same time. You know, when I was playing at youth level, I remember we played in the numbers tournament as a youth team, and certainly had a fair share of success against some very senior players. And I think that helped us, because by the time we got to England, we were so in tune that we just kept beating people every day at every game that we played. And that confidence came from opportunities like this, where you play and they're going to squeeze a single, and just a little lapse there from Singh, and got punished for it. Webster not happy. And just as we look at the talent on the 19s, Queen's Park are also blood in some new faces, because they have a number of players on national duty or on international duty. So it's by no means their full strength squad, but that, you know, you can't take anything away from performances against them, because it's a Queen's Park team. It's not a, you know, they're not representing anybody else but Queen's Park. So that TN Webster over comes to an end. 72 for 2 at the end of it. So 72 for 2 after 9, 27 to Mohammed and 28 to Budu. Webster's first over cost him 12 runs. Some lovely shots in there. And here is, again, coming into bowl is Vasant Singh. Singh just a little bit on the short side there. Got away with it. Good fielding. And again, you expect that from Govaya in the covers. And again, this time they will get the single. But it's that confidence that you're seeing from these young men when they come to the crease. They're not overwhelmed by the situation at all, and the atmosphere out there in the middle. and and that is an indication that they're not overawed at all. He's just he's so relaxed that he uncorks a reverse, and just to drive home the point I was making, that they seem so at ease and so confident in what they're doing. And now you see the captain coming down and, as if to say, don't give it away. Let's just build something here. And he's bowled him. He went right across it, kept a bit low. It was a quicker delivery. And Mohammed goes for 27. Bowled in his first over by Vasant Singh. So 74 for 3 now after 9.4 overs. But in the 10th over, they will take the break now and then come back and complete the over. So with the players getting some refreshments and of course some talking to by the coaches or their staffs, we'll take a break and come back with more as soon as play is about to resume. Ready? As we're back here now, of course, young Pollard, Caden Pollard is at the crease. And the more you look at him, is the more you see his dad. He has all the mannerisms of Kyron Pollard. You can't mistake him. If you know Kyron Pollard and you came to watch this game, you don't have to know anybody else in the field, but you could tell who is Caden Pollard. And even there you could tell because that's exactly how his dad would play a forward defensive shot. And as I say, the fruit really doesn't fall far from the tree. So a good over from Vasant to just a single coming off, and of course the wide to start things out. So 2 for 1 at the end of his first over, 74 for 3 after 10. So both teams in blue, but there's the under 19s who are batting. Queen's Park would normally play in their blue. In fact, their blue is most times a lighter blue. Here's another wide. So Webster continues to struggle with his line. And he's pointing. I'm not sure what he's pointing at, but somewhere along the line he's not comfortable. So Toppin with 2 for 23. And of course Singh, who picked up the prize wicket that of Zakaria Mohammed for 27. And there he goes again. Early swing, but it just kept going. So the challenge for him is to try to control that swing as much as possible. And there's a nice curl, a nice bend to the ball when he hangs it in the air like that, because you could see the swing. And again, stroking the ball nicely and immediately on the move. So you really have to tip your hat to these youngsters, tip your hat to, I suppose, who made the call to include them in the tournament, because it's going to do them the world of good. Of course, it allows them to bond together as a group, and they kind of work through their personality, whatever differences they might have. Remember, they compete against each other at some level, at the school level, club level. And there is Pollard. Getting off the mark, and of course he is a Queen's Park member, so he would know all the players out there, and they would know him as well. So probably a lot of chatter going on out there among friends. Brilliant bit of feeling there from Darren Bravo, and he's poised to throw down the wicket. The only thing is, it was straight to him. I would have liked to have seen it about a meter away from him if he would have been able to get across to it. Luckily for him, it was hit hard, but it was hit straight at him in that extra cover position. And again, Webster just continues to work on that offside, off stump, outside the off stump line, and because he's getting that away swing, it's a good ploy. He doesn't have a fine leg, so he wants to stay away from that leg stump as much as possible. Even middle stump could be a bit of a hand, although if he was to attack the middle stump, it might get the batsman to try to turn it towards leg. But Pollard is very correct. So the youths are trying now to navigate here. This is new territory for them. they've been chasing predominantly in the tournament. Now they're trying to set a total. And that was hit in the air, could be out caught, and he is. Again, a short ball doing the business there, and Brandon Boodoo goes for 31. It's a good catch. He had to come forward to get under it. And I think it's the young man Toppin who did all that hard work and came up with the goods. So Tian Webster gets a wicket, 80 for 4. And that also ends the 11th over. So Queen's Park making steady progress. So it wasn't Toppin out there, it was actually Kyle Ramdu who's taking that catch in front of the scoreboard. Roberto Badri is the new batsman. So another badly lined delivery there from Singh. Singh is all arms and legs. He gets through his action very quickly. So there are a lot of moving parts when he's bowling. Hands going one way, legs going another way. The left arm is going somewhere else. And all of that. And as a batsman, you know, have to concentrate on the ball. And if you can read spin through the air, you can understand what the ball will do when it hits the surface. So that way you don't have to wait for it to hit the surface. You have an appreciation by watching it in the air. Here's a nice delivery. Pollard was trying to turn it on the onside, took a leading edge. So now Badri, another popular name, another cricketing name. And again, no fear, just playing on merit, which is good to see. And they're going to get a second run, a bit of an overthrow there. For no good reason at all. They gifted the Utes a second run. I don't think Bravo will be happy at all with that. I'm sure the bowler wouldn't be either. Badri predominantly on the back foot there because he's probably trying to come to terms with the speed and maybe get an appreciation for the turn that Singh is getting out of the surface. You look at him, there's a lot of movement going on there. Then there's the angle that he's assuming in his run-up. He goes very wide of the crease and then sort of jumps back into the box before delivering. So as a batsman, you're looking at all of that. And then, like I said, in addition to all of that, you now have to look at the ball to see what it's doing. Quickly, and quickly it is. So good cricket all around. Good bit of fielding there from Tion Webster also. And this is it again. Pollard just trying to turn it on the onside and then shapes as if to say, I should have really whacked that. And then it's the end of the over. 81 for 4 now after, or actually 86 for 4 after 12. So Allen is back. Didn't have such a good first over. But I'm sure he'd like to redeem himself here now. But he has a long on and a long off, a deep mid wicket. A man on the point boundary as well from around the wicket. And that's going to run down to third man for 4 runs. He hit it fine. He didn't try to hit it too hard or try to hit it square. And he hit it fine. He hit it away from Singh, who's at just at the edge of the circle there, like as a straight third man. And then there's one on the boundary but wide. And he was able to beat them both. So Badri with the yellow helmet. Can't mistake him. Allen with that change of pace where he basically flicks the ball out. He doesn't put any pace on it at all. Similar to what Pollard does so well. Runs up normal and then uncorks a ball with no pace on it, and as a batsman you don't have to time it and apply power to it. So the youths have posted a decent total, but they need to kick on now and try and see if they could get past the 150, 160 mark. So that's 2 pace on deliveries in a row. And I think if Badri is checking, he might be looking for one without pace now. And there it is again, no pace on that occasion, or something, or reduced pace. That's how he mixes up his deliveries. Good variety from him. And again, they can't get a run. So a pretty good over, a much improved over from Allen. And at the end of it, it's 90 for 4, just the one boundary coming off of it. So Pollard has been there for a while, but he hasn't really been seeing much of the strike. It's just 7 balls face. He has 3 runs. I'm sure he'll want to improve on that. But this is his challenge, and he's bowled all over the shop there. Right up it came in the block hole, and there is Singh sending him off. Of course, they're good teammates at school as well, and here at Queen's Park. So Pollard would have tried to get at him, and Singh got the better of him on that occasion. Bowled right through the gate there. He goes for 3. So now they've lost another wicket. 5 wickets down. And this is where they enter that dangerous territory, because now you're asking the inexperienced tailenders to do a Jaden Seals. Ronaldo Fenolier. So again, Ghani went for 7, Mohammed for 27, Richards for 4, Brendan Boodoo for 31, and we just saw Caden Pollard go for 3. And immediately, Fonelia is off the mark. No butterflies. Singh really keeping the pressure on the batsman. I don't get the impression that they're reading him all that well. Hence the reason why so many of them are trying to stay on the back foot as much as possible. When he pitches up like that is where they have their greatest difficulty, because if you're not sure which way he's turning, then you're pretty much assuming that it's going to turn one way and not the other with every ball. You certainly have to keep your eyes on it for long stretches, or see it right onto the bat. Can't just go through the line and not be sure where the ball is turning. Unless you get to the pitch of it, that way it's then becomes like a half volley to you. You can see how Badri is going right back on his stumps again, because he's probably not sure of which is the leg break and which is the googly. So he's giving himself as much time as possible. 93 for 5 now after 14. So Mikhail Govaya is back into the attack now. Queen's Park looks to tighten up here and maybe squeeze the Utes a little bit, dry up the runs. And here's a, but you can see the ball sort of heading down leg. Umpire concurs. Gouveia is another interesting young man. He's one of those heart and soul cricketers. Going to give you everything he has. Whether you ask him to bowl, to bat, to field. That's a great shot, but brilliant bit of fielding there. Again, diving to his left is Ravi Kedu. Guess he'll have a white man or two to talk about. You can see him checking the knee now. The skin is probably off. It's probably starting to feel the burn. And again, trying to force it through the onside. And Bravo trying to release it one first time. Almost hit himself in the head. He was trying to release it and trying to hold it back at the same time. Succeeded only in throwing it up in the air. See here, he was trying, it just slipped out of his hand. And that's a short ball that is going high and taken right on the boundary rope there, trying his best there for Nilia. He goes for 3. It's a good catch, a very well judged catch out in the deep. So Gouveia picks a pepper. So it's now 97 for 6. So Tion Webster taking that catch out in the deep, making it look so easy. But you have to wait for it to come down and also be mindful of the ropes, the boundary rope, which was very close. So Aidan Owen is the new batter. So another wicket goes and driving hard there. And he now goes for 9. Roberto Badri, a good low catch taken by Gouveia. So Singh has a 3rd wicket. Toppin has 2. Singh has 3. And of course, Webster and Gouveia, the other wicket takers, 1 each. Tyler Ramroop makes his way out. So the youths are in danger of being bowled out here, and they don't want to do that. Somebody's going to have to find the resolve to just to consolidate, try and see if they get a little partnership or two. If you can't get to 150, then 130 might do just fine, given the circumstances. So this man has turned the game on its head here, Vasant Singh. And again, it's just the pace at which he bowls sometimes. Everything is so quick. It reminds me of Chandrasekhar. He used to run in and really hurry you. And then the ball would spin, but then you have to have an idea of what he's trying to do. That's well played. And Harold Joe was similar. He used to come in so quickly. You're trying to time him, and then when the ball leaves his hands, it's a different timing. So there are some bowlers like that. They run up slowly and then they put pace on the ball, and then some of them run as quickly as we're looking at Vasant Singh here. So as a batsman, you think everything is coming through at that pace. And again, he creating some problems to the batsman. And like I said, I think it's primarily because they're not quite sure which way he's spinning the ball. It's not a big turn of the ball. If he was a big spin of the ball, he would cause real havoc. Because they're all having their issues with him. That's his 4th over, 3 for 15 is what he will end with. Or 3 for 16, I should say. So a fine play from him. 101 for 7 at the end of it. So things have really tightened up here for the youths. They have to kind of work through this obstacle that is in their way. They have to find some kind of mechanism to get some runs on the board. Maybe somebody might come and play a real Kyron Pollard innings in the last 5. Just come and hammer the ball to all parts. But they're running out of overs. We're in the 18th over right now. That will help. They should really go quickly to try and get a second run, but they was too late. And again, because the athletes are so much better in the outfield, it's difficult for these youths to even come back for a second run as long as they start slowly with the first run. Fial again trying to aim it into that little blind spot that the right-handers have down by their ankles. But I don't think he needs to bowl there. I think he needs to start just outside the off stump. See if he gets some turn. For all you know, he might hit the off stump. But he persists with that leg stump line. $104 for 7 now. So the field changes over as the left-handed Tyler Ramroop is there. Again, these youngsters got in a real examination here from Queen's Park. But soaking up dot balls, and the frustration is right there. Govaya 1 for 14 from his 4. So very good going from him. 17 overs completed. It's 104 rather for 7. So Shiva Makum is back. Might consider 2, but they're wary of the arm of Alain, as well they should be. He's a big, strong man. And again, looking to score. They have to keep going. They really stalled now in their run production. But any run they can get, they'll have to take now. Can't be too picky or too choosy. Outside edge, inside edge, under edge, doesn't matter. And this one is another opportunity here. Can he take it? And what a catch. Excellent work again, running back there, Ravi Kedu. And really, Owen spooning a catch. He goes for 4. So Makum picks up 1. And they slip further into the mire at 107 for 8 now. So Daniel Holder will make his way to the middle. Yet another pressure situation for these youngsters to work through. So even though they're under the pump right now, it's good in a sense because it allows them to try to assess situations. I'm sure this is going to be a learning, almost like a lecture for the coach, where you could place them in difficult situations, talk to them, help them talk it through, problem solve it, and what is the best approach going to be like, because they're going to have situations like these in the BAT series, or the youth series as it's called now. But they always have to be mindful that everybody who comes to the crease can contribute with the bat, contribute to the cause. And if they need an example, just look at what Jaden Seals did today, what Gary Pierre did today for the Red Force, the TNT Red Force. And so you just take the singles. You don't want to not use up your 20 overs. So you want to make sure that you have a little momentum at the end, but you also want some wickets to foster that momentum. And that was flicked away in the air. There's a man coming in, and he takes the catch too. That looks like Webster running, coming there, and trying his best to look it up, hold up, and he goes for one. So another pepper there for Macomb. He has 2 for 16 now. It's 109 for 9 at the end of 18. So young Danraj is making his way out. Darren Danraj. So Toppin is back. 2 for 23 already, so he has 1 over remaining. And this is, again, part of their overall development. So they have to experience situations, pressure situations like these, and try and work themselves out of it. It's not going to be easy, but that's what they signed up for. So when you consider the quality that we saw from some of the frontline batsmen, and we saw Ghani before he was unfortunately out caught, and that's a wide. So he continues to thread the needle there. Toppin. So 110 for 9. Can they get to 120? He was really looking to get it all in that one delivery. He really threw everything at it. Tyler Ramroop. So Queen's Park looking to add some more pressure, bringing Singh into the offside. So on the onside, it's a 6-3. There's a deep backward square, a mid-wicket short, and a long on the onside. And this one is striking him on the pad. There's a lot of appeal. He's out. LBW. And that is the end of the innings. Ramroop goes to 6. LBW. Bowled by the impressive Toppin. Right in the middle. So it's 110. .3 overs, so they didn't bat out their 20 overs, which we always say is not healthy in the general scheme of things. So Toppin ends with 3. McCoon ends with 2. Singh has 3. And so a good team effort there, spreading the wickets around, but they had the two main men, Toppin and Singh, doing the business on the day. 3 wickets apiece, so congratulations to them. Queen's Park now need 111 for a victory, and we'll get to their reply when we come back. Welcome back to the Queen's Park Oval. We're getting ready for the second innings, the innings of Queen's Park, as they look to wrap up a fourth victory in a row here. They need 111, and that's after they took care of business with against the Fial U-19s, bowling them out for 110 in 18.3 overs. And it's going to be Daniel Holder who is warming up to pick up the attack. So 111. And the big fella, Kadeem Alain, is out there together with Kyle Ramdu. So Holder just really could just run up and bowl freely. You don't have to worry about anything. And if he wants to try to bowl fast, well, then this is it. But the thing is, he wants to try and build some kind of pressure on these two and see if he can knock them over. Ramdu has been in good form all season long. And of course, Kadeem Alain is a noted swashbuckler. Hits the ball as hard as anyone. He's a big fellow. He's really like a big unit. Joshua James comes to mind. Holder bang on target here. This is good bowling from him. And like I said, he has nothing to lose here. Just running freely and just try and find a spot, find something from somewhere. Just try and go across him with one and bring one back later on. Just try something, but don't worry about it. And that you have to be worried about, because had he delivered that, he would have been bowling a no ball for sure. He looked like he was well over that line. And again, so he's really bowling a very good line. It's a line in which he's asking the batsman to play or come outside the off stump and try to play it. He wants to stay away from that leg side as much as possible. And again, so he's really adopted a pretty good line here and a good length. And as a result, we haven't seen one shot with aggression yet. From Alain. 5 deliveries gone, all dot balls. Can Daniel finish it up here now with a sixth and produce a maiden? And that's a very, very good first over. A maiden over to start things off here. So a very, very positive start. So no run on the board for the Queen's Park team as they start their reply against the under-19s. So Darren Danraj is the one who's going to pick up the attack immediately. So Darren Danraj is going to get a real examination here. And Ramdu immediately stroking the ball sweetly, good timing. That's well played, and that's going to run away. Hit very hard indeed. And there's a man at mid-off, and he was trying to dive to catch up with it. And to no avail. Fanelia was the one trying his best to get around to that. And again, over the top he goes this time. This is going to be a long chase, but I don't think he's going to get it. And a really good effort, though, trying to pull it back. They're going for the other run. He has to hurry. And there's a loud appeal for a run out. Yes, he's out. So they were going back for the third. And Kadeem Allen looks back and sees the umpire, that dreaded finger, go up. But what a brilliant piece of fielding. It looked like it had 4 runs written all over it. But the young man sprinted after it, Badri, and really pulled off a miracle there. You can look at it again and see they thought that this was comfortably 4 runs. So they touched down for the first one, not very quickly. Allen was pushing for 2. And here they are coming back for the 3rd run, trying to get there. And he had the bat down. The line is not very clear, so I really can't say from there. But can you go back to the fielding, the stop on the boundary? Because that is really what sets up all of this here. And he goes screaming after it. Stops it right on just before it hits the rope and flicks it back, and then picks himself up and sends a rocket, a pinpoint accurate return, and trying to get in there. He did have the bat down just to drag it in, so he did all the right things. Did he get there? I couldn't tell you because I can't see the line. So it really is up to the discretion of the umpire. And he ruled that he was out. So Allen goes without scoring, and he goes via the run-out route. So it's now 6 for 1. And look at it again. Gets the ball there. Where is the bat? Oh, he was dipping the bat. That's what happened to him. He didn't drag the bat from earlier. He was dipping the bat in the crease. And that's a cardinal sin. And quickly, now they have to fry in there. There's another one. Is he out? Run out, and the appeal is up. The players jumping as if they got it done, but the umpire spoils the fun and says not out. Party pooper. But this would have been dramatic again. Look who it is. Badri again fires the return. And Ramdu was at full stretch there. But they got the single T on Webster is off the mark. And again, they go for a quick single. So how dramatic that would have been if there were 2 runouts in succession like that. So the youths are showing that they're prepared to fight. And Dan Raj completes his first over, and at the end of it, 8 for 1. So 2 overs in the books. And 8 for 1. So the Queen's Park, they've lost an early wicket, just like the Utes did. And but it's really about building. They almost lost a second one in quick succession. That's probably what they're trying to avoid here now, as they look to knock off the additional 103 runs that's needed for a victory. And Ramdu, he hits it and he's out caught. Well, what dramatic scenes here at the Queen's Park Oval. Daniel Holder pitches up and Ramdu couldn't resist the drive. He goes for 7. And this game is being turned on its head here now. The U-19s are not giving up. And a good catch indeed. He was falling over, but he came up with it. That's a fantastic catch. And Ramdu hit it hard, and it was dying on him. And those are some of the most difficult ones, because once it's dying, you have to kind of get under it. And hold up, elated. But what a dramatic turn of events here. And nothing more than these young men deserve. So the experienced Andre Fletcher arrives at the crease. So Fletcher taking his time to get settled. Holder with a wicket. And haven't yet conceded a run because he bowled a maiden first up. And again, excellent work in the field, and the youngsters are up for it. Fornelia there cutting that one off. So they're really squeezing Queen's Park here now, not giving them an inch. And Fletcher is going to get off the mark easily. I think it's so good for the game. It's so good for the psyche of these young men that they could push the mighty Queen's Park in this fashion, just to give themselves a chance. They may not achieve it, but hey, and just knocks it down. Brilliant work again. And their tails are really up here now. It's almost like they're smelling blood. Who told them 110 is a below par score? They want to make it look like it's 210. Trick is, can they maintain it? That's always the big question. But this is really the ideal scenario. I would imagine all the folks at home who are watching this must be thinking, can these youngsters really do this? Well, they have the belief, and they're certainly giving it their best shot right now. And trying to push Queen's Park every step of the way. The end of the over, 11 for 2 after 3. So Dan Raj is going to continue. It was his over that caused all kind of drama. And it was this young man who was at the center of it all, young Badri. So the countdown is on for Queen's Park. It's under 100 now. This one is in the air, and it's taken. Well. Trying to hit it there. Tion Webster miscues it, and he goes for 2. And they fall further into the mire. Really, the game has really been turned on its head here. Queen's Park must be stunned in that dressing room right now. 12 for 3. So Joshua Davis, who himself was just playing at the youth level, so he's not too far removed from this situation. So Davis has arrived at the crease, and it's going to be Dan Raj who is going to be pulling to him first up. And that one squeezes off the edge, and it's going to scream down to third man. They all count, and at this stage, Queen's Park would be breathing a sigh of relief to get a couple more like that. So Davis again trying to keep things moving. You know, sometimes when you're facing a small total, you tend to want to do it incrementally. Some of these guys look like they want to do it in a brash and very positive way. And that's well struck, but again, they can't get it through. So good fielding. Just Paula just getting a hand, taking some of the sting out of it. And as a result, a dot ball 17 for 3 now after 4. That's well played. And again, another opportunity here. And he's out, run out. Well. More drama. Brilliant bit of fielding. And there he goes. Joshua De Silva goes for 5. Run out. So that's the second one in the innings already. And the Utes are really applying the pressure on Queen's Park. Look at this bit of fielding. The ball squirted out there. He thought he had lost it. He picked it up and then rifled it back across there. Aidan Owen had it back to the bowler, and the bat was down, but did it cross the line? And look at it. They were standing there, bit of indecision, and Joshua had some work to do. And where did he go? He grounded the bat a long way outside the crease, trying to get in. And the return taken by the bowler Holder, and he does the needful. So brilliant work by Owen. And really, things are falling into place nicely for the U-19s. If they were brilliant against... If they were outstanding against Prisons, well, they're brilliant tonight in the field. Against Prisons, it was their batting that really kind of took the cake. Tonight, it's this effort that they're putting in the field. They know they didn't bat as well as they wanted to. Boy, they're sure trying to make up for that in the field. And they're not giving anything away right now. And Queen's Park are going to have to work really hard for it. But they do have the capabilities. It's still in their hands. Mikael Govaya is out there. And he's quite capable. Likes to hit the ball. This probably is not the situation for that right now. Need to see them just kind of see if we could stop this assault that these youngsters are putting on them right now. It's almost as if Queen's Park, they're stunned by what is happening out there in the middle. And all the supporters, all the fans in the stands are probably glad they stayed back to watch this action. This one is edge, and he's out court. He's trying to turn it. He flicked it straight into the hands of the man standing there at that short fine leg position. And that is Ramroop takes the catch. Fletcher goes for three. And Holder picks another pepper. What is happening here? Fletcher just tried to help it on its way, and he flicked it, but he didn't get the elevation that he wanted. Ramroot says, thank you very much, and gleefully accepts it. Fletcher couldn't believe his eyes when he saw that going straight to the fielder. So 17 for 5 right now. And it really is really an amazing turn of events here. Nothing that happened before would have prepared us for this. This is all new, and it's a real testament to the brilliance and just the whole attitude of these youngsters. They're not giving up. So Darren Bravo is out there, the captain for Queen's Park. And boy, does he need a captain innings here. And look at pace. All of a sudden, the youngster, the man has gotten a little extra yard of pace. There, that's Holder. It looks very unassuming, but boy, he's breathing fire right now. Bravo, better be careful. There's no margin for error now, Queen's Park. Half the side is down. They haven't even crossed 20 as yet. They haven't even finished the power play as yet. A slower one. Talk about confidence. He's ready. He's not giving them an inch. So that's the end of the over. 5 overs completed. And yes, folks, it's 17 for 5. Really, if somebody had called and say, what's this going to over? And you tell them 17 for 5, they'll say, what, the use button? They know it's Queen's Park button. And really, the target again is 111, but that seems so far away right now. And Bravo and Govaya, neither one of them is off the mark as yet. So again, and Pollard, of course, with his inside knowledge of some of his Queen's Park teammates could pass on information to the bowlers, where to bowl, where not to bowl, where to set the fielders. Let's see. That's a great shot. Excellent work there from Govaya. He just stroked it and picked up 4 runs. He beat Pollard to his right and then also got to pass the left hand of the diving Richards. A very good shot. He didn't try to overhit it. He just stroked it, but he got good timing and excellent placement. And that's easy. That's an easy single, possibly 2, but Bravo, this is not the quickest between wickets. Elected not to come back for a second run. Govaya was up for it. So would you believe it? Queen's Park needing 111 to win, 6 for 1, 8 for 2, 12 for 3, 17 for 4, and 17 for 5. And that is not produce in the market I'm talking about. Those are wickets and runs. That's a gorgeous shot from Darren Bravo. Talk about class. Just stroked it nicely through extra cover for 4. Again, Danraj pitching up as he often does and paying the price there. And again, good change up there. Quicker delivery from Danraj. Had a chat with his father a couple of nights ago. And Rajendra is very proud of him, as he should be. And this one is squirting away, but that man Badri there is like a real tiger. And nothing is being allowed to pass in his general vicinity. Queen's Park 26 for 5. They need 85 more. And again, excellent work in the field. The youngsters are not giving up. They're still pressing here and making Queen's Park work for everything. So that ends the power play, and it's 26 for 5 after 6. I don't think we've had a power play this miserly in the tournament so far, especially with that many wickets falling. So Danraj has 1 for 23. Those 2 boundaries making up the difference there, but those are 2 really good shots. First it was Govaya, and then Bravo uncorked the shot of the match. So Holder is going to continue. And this would be his 4th over. So they're letting him bowl through. Brave from the captain. Again, just trying to change things up here for him. He has 4 runs for 2 wickets in 3 overs and 2 balls. Just 4 runs conceded. The first over was a maiden. For the left-handed Bravo, they do not have a third man on the boundary. Neither do they have a fine leg on the boundary. So he has to be spot on here. And immediately Bravo jogs a couple of meters and then walks the rest after a very confident push down to long on, where he always knew that it was just going to be a single. So 28 for 5. No, folks, you're not in some dreamland. It's not a movie you're watching. Again, another short ball. Really mixing it up here. You have to be impressed with these youngsters. They're very precocious and they're really expressing themselves. If they get another wicket here, especially if they get Bravo, this place is going to erupt. This one is in the air and just dropping down there, but they can't get more than a single. So these youngsters are making life very difficult for them, as they should. It's not a big score. And certainly Queen's Park will still be favored to get the runs. But boy, they're taking the long way around. So not for the first time we've seen Holder fail to deliver the ball and just kind of runs through the crease. He probably didn't feel comfortable delivering it. Or maybe some other plan came into his mind as to what he wants to do. They started and then they go back, and again they almost got themselves into a little bit of a tangle there, and that was it. So his 4 overs have cost him 6 runs, and he's picked up 2 wickets. Excellent bowling on the part of this young man. That's a brilliant spell. Any bowler in this competition would take those figures and smile. So at the end of the over, it's 29 for 5. So 7 overs completed now. So Danraj 2 is going to bowl out. So a bit unusual to see 2 bowlers bowl out and bowl all 4 straight. So again, that is confidence from the captain and is being backed up by the fielders. So they're all in on the plan here. And the bowlers have responded in kind. And that too is very well played. But once more, it's just a single. So Danrad, what does he have up his sleeve here for Bravo? If he gets this wicket, he might make a lap around the savannah, around the oval. His dad and his moms, who are always here watching him, might be doing cartwheels in the stands. But you can just see the class of a Darren Bravo. And another excellent shot. That one races across the turf. And again, Danraj pitches up, and which is kind of like what he does. And I think he does it because, remember, he's small. So he has to try to get the ball up there. And 9 out of 10 times he tends to bowl into the slot. And Govaya made him pay there. 35 now for 5. That's the change up, and that's gone. It's a bad ball. Trying to make an adjustment there, Danraj. Got it all wrong. He never got it to come back, so it just kept drifting outside the legs, and Govaya made him pay. So Danraj proven to be a bit expensive. 1 for 33. He still has one legitimate delivery left. It's 33 runs, and it's 39 for 5, and he has conceded 33 of those runs. So Danraj, one last ball to finish his spell. So he won't get it through there. So he finishes with 1 for 33. And at the end of over number 8, Queen's Park, 39 now for 5. So this pair starting to stabilize proceedings here. Remember, it's not a big total, so all they need is really one good partnership, and they could be on easy street. But they have to be so mindful of the dangers that this group, the under 19s, present, because they are not afraid to challenge themselves. So Tyler Ramroop. And here is an appeal for a catch of the wicket. He's gone. Tyler Ramroop breaks the partnership. And Bravo goes for 6. Well, caught at the wicket by that man, Zachariah Mohammed. And really brilliant bowling there. First up, what a first ball to deliver. And that is the end of Bravo. It's now 39 for 6. And the youths can taste it right now. Because while Govaya is batting very well, Bravo was the one, I suppose, they would have thought would be the one who could take the game away from them. if he had stayed around for a while. So now Ravi Kedu has the responsibility now to try to see his team through. Kovaya probably pleading with his teammates, somebody stick with me and let's get this job done. But he can't bat at both ends, so he could only cajole and encourage the other batsmen. So who else will put their hands up for Queen's Park against this attack by these under-19s? So Kedu taking his time, which is probably a good thing. And but again, you could see the youths with their tails up right now. They know they don't have many runs to play with, but the key was taking wickets. Can they finish the job now? They've done all the hard work. Now it's about finishing what you started. Here's another one that peels off an outside edge there, and there's no slip. Okay, just pushing at it, got a thin enough edge that even though there's a short third man, it was wide of him, and Richards could do nothing about it. And again into the gap, this time to the left of Richards. The first one went to the right, and the next one is going to his left and down the hill for 4 more. And they cannot afford to give away too many runs. They don't have many runs to play with. So now they've opted to put the third man in. So big discussion taking place there. Maybe trying to convince the bowler, Ramroop, where to bowl and watch the field, look at the field and see what can or can't work. So a nice comfortable single to add to the drama after taking those 2 boundaries off consecutive deliveries. So Govaya it is, who is on 16 now from 11. So they brought the fine leg back into the circle, and but they didn't concede a run off the last ball of over number 9, and at the end of it, it's 48 for 6. So really, the scorecard reads, it's almost like an amazing scorecard, to be honest. Ramdu 7, Ale no score, Webster 2, Fletcher 3, Davis 5, and Bravo 6. So it's a lot of single digits, and Govaya is the only man so far into double figures. So Kaiden Pollard will pick up the attack now. Comfortable. Pollard doesn't spin the ball much, but like some of the other bowlers, he is reliant on variations, change of pace. I don't think he's going to get much purchase out of the wicket. He doesn't really put that many revs on the ball for it to really bite and grip. If he could get some bonks, that would help. So it's off spinner bowling to off spinner. And nicely played. Again, Govaya proven to be a real thorn in the sides of the U-19s right now. He's certainly a determined young man himself, Mikhail Govaya. He doesn't want to suffer a defeat here tonight. So he's doing everything in his power to try and not make that a reality for Queen's Park. They're heavily favored in this game. Even from at this stage, they're still favored. But they also have to get the job done. And there we go again. More runs. Another boundary. So Govaya is almost single-handedly trying to do this. So 10 overs completed. And after 10 overs, it's 57 for 6. The players will get some refreshment. So we'll take a break and come back with more. So the players have had their refreshment. We've had a break in the action, maybe an opportunity just to catch your breath here because this game has been moving really fast. And we'll see what happens. Kedu now. And again, he wants a single, but Govaya not interested. And good work again from Mohammed behind the stumps. So they are really squeezing right now. Govaya, though, is trying to block out all the noise and just try and take care of business. And that would be a relief dressing room if that was to happen. And this man is certainly playing his part here, Kedu. Since he's been at the crease, he's into double figures now. Queen's Park looking to put themselves in a winning position. They thought they'd done so with the ball, and then all of a sudden the bottom fell out of their batting. So again, I remember this is a battle among friends here. A lot of these players are good friends. So they know, and you could imagine the amount of lyrics will fly if these youths beat Queen's Park here tonight. They will never hear the end of that. That's another brilliant shot. Again. And Govaya is almost single-handedly trying to deny them. The key, of course, is to work out a strategy how to limit Govaya's scoring options. Right now, they've not been able to do that. And so he continues to shape very well indeed, looks very composed, very calm. He knows that he has plenty of time. They need 49 more. They have 55 balls. Well within reach. So it's really a question of just assessing what is in front of you. Don't worry about what has gone before and just play on merit. 11 overs gone, 63 now for 6. So again, 48 from 54 balls. They would say cakewalk, but then they only have 4 wickets in hand. They lose another one here, and that will be the cat among the pigeons. It's 9-10 Jack coming to bat. So just like how Bravo was the prize wicket, Govaya is now the prize scalp that you're looking for. Pollard has to be careful here. He has to be spot on against Govaya. Govaya is a dangerous customer. He's on 29 now. Make that 30 as he again does what he's supposed to be, and he's showing real confidence in Kedu. He's not shielding him by any means. So now they put a slip in for Pollard. I don't think he's turning the ball that much. And that came back like real fire at him. Was that a catch? And it might have done some damage as well, because it looks like he's walking off immediately. So that was hit with real power there from Kedu. Pollard put his hand there and paid the price. Yes, it was a catch. Straight back at him, and he couldn't accept it. That would have been another telling blow there. So finally, so see the batsman calling now. Somebody's going to have to finish the over. So they're probably going back to the seam bowlers. So the batsmen are armed with their helmets now. So Ronaldo Fernalier is going to finish up the over for him. And that's 4 runs. Again, go via finding ways to get the job done here for Queen's Park. So now Govaya is proven to be a real headache for the Utes. They haven't really troubled him. They can't slow him down either. So again, who can do even more damage for the Utes? That's what I think Boodoo is looking at now. Does he bowl himself? He may have to do so at some point. And he thought of a second run, quickly quells, because these Utes are flying into the ball. They know that there is the possibility of a single, but they don't want to concede 2. So they are really attacking the ball nicely from out in the deep. Kedu now is going to be facing up to Fornillier. And he too is finding gaps in the field. And trying to free. So the over finally comes down at 72 for 6 at the end of it. So again, the under 19s trying here. They're pushing hard here, trying to see if they could maybe prize out a couple more wickets and put even more fear into the Queen's Park dressing room. It's not going to be easy. The mood that Govaya is in, and the total is such a small total that even if he has to wait a little bit, he can, because he knows he could probably accelerate at any time. So just as I suspected, Brandon Boodoo is going to come into the attack. And that's a good hit, but might only get a single for it. But good aggressive running. Vaya's up to 37 now. Going along in his own merry ways. It's like he's playing on a different wicket to what the others are playing on. But Kedu's 14 is also crucial at this stage. And this one going almost went right through him there. Govaya went across the line there. Again, that's not what is required at this stage. He must put a really heavy price on his wicket. Cannot afford to get out at this stage. So the end of a pretty interesting over from the captain. 74 for 6 after 13 now. So 74 for 6 from 13. So they still have more balls than runs required. 42 balls, they need 37 runs. And while we have a time here, let me say congratulations to Shea Gilgeous Alexander from Oklahoma City Thunder. Back-to-back MVPs in the NBA. And as we speak, the Cleveland Cavaliers look like they are going to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals to face the New York Knickerbockers as they have a double-digit lead over the Detroit Pistons. Kedu continues to make his shots. And in fact, I was talking about Cleveland's lead. That lead has grown. It's now 106 to 73, and they're in the fourth quarter. And it's going to take a real miracle for Detroit to come back from such a hole. Detroit, remember, faced a game 7 earlier, took care of that. And he threw it away this time, trying to effect something, but really there was no need for him to throw it, but you never know. So the Utes have to try and figure out how they're going to get these next 4 wickets. Certainly can't try to defend. It's too many balls. Sure, they all want to push on here, get this over with as quickly as possible, but it's not easy when those nerves are jangling a little bit. So I'll play it again. Could see Govaya growing in confidence here. He knows that he is the main man, and he's trying to So who would have thunk it that half the Queen's Park side would be out before they could get to... Well, here's another one up in the air, but it's not going to carry. So the pendulum is just swinging back towards Queen's Park. Kedu continues to do his part, assisting Govaya here. Kedu's up to 16. Govaya's on 38. Remember, these two came together at 39 for 6. It's the end of another over. 77 for 6 now after 14. So it's really about concentration here now. Who can really put it together? Govaya has done most of the hard work, but now he has to ensure that his teammate understands what is happening. So again, can they finally get over this hump here now? Kedu still insists on playing a shutter ball. He's almost always want to keep scoring. He's never seen a delivery he didn't like as yet. There he goes again. This one is in the air. Is it going to be taken? No, he cannot. He never really settled under it. And Kedu almost just gifted it away. And I was just making the point. It's almost a shot, a ball he's playing. There are no half measures with him. He just wants to get on with things. And he almost gave it away. So finally, a little luck for the Parkites. You can see him looking up in the lights as if to say, I couldn't probably catch the ball. I couldn't see it. Yeah, so a real anxious moment there. Was that the moment that would tilt the game decidedly in their favor? Here's another brilliant shot from Govaya. This is what he's so dangerous. That he is almost single-handedly taking up this challenge. Brilliant from Govaya. They're up to 84 now, so they're inching closer and closer. Just 27 more runs from 32 deliveries. This is it here because you could tell Govaya is probably trying to see if he could end it quickly. Don't let it linger. Down the wicket he goes again. There's a man settling under there. Does he take the catch? Yes, he does. And there goes Govaya now. It's 84 for 7. He goes for 44. The ball was well into the night lights there. And that is the young man, Badri, taking that one. So, so another twist here now. Will that deter Kedu from playing in his normal aggressive style? Remember, he was the one who was dropped a few minutes ago, a few deliveries earlier, I should say. And but there was no drop in Govaya. He now comes to the crease and they're gonna ask him to make a contribution with the bat. That's the important thing here. They could lose 9 wickets, they can't lose 10. So, but they just have to keep going. And again, playing some lovely shots. Kedu really says like a shot, a ball with him. He is gonna go. There are no half measures with him. It's all or nothing. 88 for 7 now. What a good game of cricket you're seeing here with all these twists and turns, and with a little 2 points at stake. Up in the air it goes. This time he could be out. Fredericks is settling under it, and he drops it. Well. For the second time, Kedu almost gave it away, but the Utes failed to accept the chance. Both chances were skiers, and we know that once it goes up into the night light, it is very, very difficult. You could see he never really settled. He almost got turned around completely. And of course, Toppin is trying to maybe breathe some caution into Kedu. Let's see if Kedu curbs his natural aggressive instinct. Plenty of open spaces. You can get a single at any time. And there they go again. Can he hit it? He hit it. It should be out. Well, out he is. Well. More drama here. Abdul Rahim Toppin never faced a ball, but he is heading back to the pavilion, run out without scoring. 90 now for 8. Brilliant bit of feeling to his own bowling there, Ronaldo Fornillier. And he underarms it, but still in the air. And the umpire, easy decision. So 90 for 7, so they're right there, but they're not there yet. 21 runs needed. It's 90 for 8, I should say. So Queen's Park have just 2 wickets in hand. And they have to find a way to stick together and to stay the course. So more drama. Edge down to pass, it goes past the keeper, down to the boundary for 4. Real pace there, and that one just lifted on him. And somehow he got it away from the keeper, and Vasant Singh survives. So he's off the mark. So again, there's no third man. There's no fine leg. Or is there a fine leg? No, there isn't. Once a quick single and they'll get it too. So that's good cricket. But this is the man here. Can he curb his natural inclination to want to play shots at every ball? As I say, he's never seen a ball that he doesn't like yet to hit. So he may just continue his merry way and ride his luck all the way to seeing his team over the line. Kedu is playing, that's a wide. And that's dangerous because there's nobody down at fine leg. Any kind of a deflection there, and that's going to run into the boundary. So he has to be very careful now. A boundary now will feel like twice that amount. 96 for 8. So now he's asking them to go around. He's coming around the wicket. So he's shifting he's putting the fine leg in place. And again, it's a leg by. Or did he get a touch? Really, umpire never signaled, so it looked like he did get a touch onto it. So 97 for 8 now. After 16. What a game this has turned out to be. A really interesting contest indeed. And it could still go either way. You just don't know, especially with Brandon Boodoo bowling. And with Kedu batting, he's probably going to launch. It's almost like he really don't know how to restrain himself. So he's going to just continue playing his shots and hope to see it through that way. So 14 from 24 balls. So they're right there. Can he just rein it in a little bit and make sure without giving his wicket away, or at least presenting another chance? He's already been dropped twice in this innings. And they're going to get the single. That's a well-judged single. And it brings Vasant Singh to the crease. How does he play here? So they put the slip in place now. Fornelia is going into first slip and is pushing this one. It took a kind of a leading edge and ends up in the extra cover region. But they all count, so doesn't matter if it comes off the middle, if it comes off the edge, if it comes off the back of the bat. As long as the batsman can cross safely, they'll take it. 99 now for 8. 12 needed. They have 22 balls to get those runs. They could take them in singles. And they want to go for it, or trying to at least, and then they decide against it. So tension here at the Oval. This is what Tanti Merle was all about. Can't see Tanti. This time he wants a single. It's not there. And just look at the youngsters attack the ball. Fredericks comes screaming in there. And sooner or later, he's probably going to probably resort to his natural game and try to stake it. They go for one. They may come for a second. They should get it too. And here is the return coming in. Very good return, but can't beat the fast-moving Kedu. Fornelia with another rocket from in the deep. So 100 is on the board. It's 101 now for 8. Remember, the victory target is 111, so they're 10 away. And going deep with it. So 9 away now. So things are tilted more decidedly in favor of Queen's Park. So 102 for 8. Again, they need 9 more runs to get to the victory, and they have 18 balls to get those runs. 3 overs.
So it's all come down to this. 9 runs, 18 deliveries, but just 2 wickets remaining. Still difficult to tell where this is gonna end. Tyler Ramrup returning for his 3rd over. Clips that one away. There's no one there. 4 runs. That makes things much easier now for QPCC. Yeah, that time from Ramrup was too much on the legs. Not where he would have wanted to pitch that one, given the field set that was in position. There was no fine leg. So many in the offside, attacking the ball. Couldn't afford that. Brings the equation down to 5 runs just required now. That's more like it from Ramrup. Can he strike here? A wicket is what they need at this stage. Current fielders at deep 3rd, deep cover, long off, long on, and deep mid, deep forward square. And again, not looking to do anything too extravagant is Ravi Kedu. He's been really quite calm in the situation. Wickets falling all round. Consistent fall of wickets all through the innings. But he's continued to stay there. Of course, there was that dropped catch as well. The U-19s would have that haunting them. Drives that one, and it's gonna beat that fielder down there, is it? Yes, it is in the end. It was a great effort down there, but he just couldn't flick it back in. At that time, was able to get it through that gap between the extra cover and long off fielder. Picked it quite nicely. So just 1 run required at this stage to end things here for QPCC. They bring all fielders but 1 in. Oh, and it's gonna sneak down the leg side for a wide. What a way to finish it after all we've seen. A very nonchalant end to this match. Just sneaking down the leg side and 4 wides. So in the end, just by 2 wickets, Queen's Park Cricket Club have reigned victorious in this match. Was really quite a dramatic one all throughout. course, this match had no real bearing on the table standings after that victory from Presal in the first match, but Fial under 19 would certainly have a lot of positives to take out of this match in both bowling, well, more so bowling than batting, but still, of course, always great to be out there batting and playing against the team that has been unbeaten throughout this tournament in this group, Queen's Park Cricket Club. They've won all of their 4 matches. A bit of a scare here today for them, I must say. But in the end, they were still able to take it home with a few balls to spare. So we'll take you downstairs to that post-match presentation very shortly. A lot of performers throughout that match, so difficult to pick who that man of the match is going to end up being. So do stick around if you'd like to find out. But as from up here, that's thank you and good night.
Gentlemen, let's again congratulate both teams for a splendid performance, a real cliffhanger all the way through to the end, especially in the second half of this game. But in the end, Queen's Park, that's that extra quality making a huge difference. Again, the Trinidad and Tobago Cricket Board takes this opportunity to sincerely thank the Caribbean Premier League, the Trinbago Knight Riders, Nagico, and the Queen's Park Cricket Club for their valued support of this T20 tournament and their continued investment in local cricket. At this time, I will invite Ms. Tichelle Phillip, the Assistant Manager Marketing of Nagico, to make the presentation of the man of the match, and the award goes to Miguel Govaya from Queen's Park. 44 from 37 balls, 7 fours, and 1 6. When he is bowling 4 overs, no innings, 1 for 14, 5 all-round performance by him. Congratulations again, and thank you, Ms. Phillip. Can I get the Brendan Wood from the under-19s? Brendan Toffler from over there. You really put some fear in the Queen's Park.
Yeah, not really well. It's very complicated and something that he's organized it. If he wants to show us yeah, guys, they're really glad to put 6 over and 4 5
The captain of the victorious Queen's Park cricket team, and of course they go marching into the semi-finals. Of course, the tournament takes a break for the next couple of nights, but we hope to see you back here on Wednesday, when we will resume the battle of the TTCB T20 Festival right here at the Queen's Park Oval.
Yeah, it's crunch time in the TTCB T20 Festival. So the final 2 days of action. Prison versus Fial in this first matchup here today. We have the 2 captains out here, as well as match referee Afraz Mohammed and Regina Purai. So without further ado, let's have that off. Here's Paul. Have a bat, any particular reason as to why?
No reason really. Just keep a bat, set up to set, and give my next chance to it.
Any changes in the team?
And Zachary Ragunat out, and Manuel Gasol.
Thanks very much. So we do have chosen to do fuse time one.
We don't double.
Changes in the team?
No changes at all.
Thanks very much. The news of the center is that 3 Prisons has won the toss and chosen to have a back first. Here it's crunch time in the TTCB T20 festival. So the final 2 days of action, and we have Prisons versus Fial. In this first matchup here today, we have the two captains out here as well as match referee Afraz Mohammed and Rajendra Purai. So without further ado, let's have that off.
Yes. Paul.
Have a back, any particular reason as to why?
No reason really. Keep it back. Set up to third. Give him an next chance today.
Any changes in the team?
Zachary Abinat out and Manuel Garcia.
Thank you very much. What would you have chosen to do to fight one?
We don't
Changes in the team?
no changes out.
Thank you very much. The use of the center is that 3